Constantia Resources Limited is a British Columbia-based company conducting an exploration stage program at the Maggie Copper Molybdenum Project. The project site is located halfway between Clinton and Cache Creek, British Columbia, near the community of 16 Mile. Constantia is committed to early engagement, providing benefits for the local community, and high standards of environmental protection. Beginning in 2011, over 2 years in advance of any drilling, Constantia has been talking with community members, local business, and First Nations and government, working to address concerns and priorities to develop a responsible project that contributes both to the local economy and the overall well-being of the area's residents.
You're the first company that really engaged right from the start. We're probably in communication with HDI probably once a month. You feel like you're in the loop. Like in other companies, you don't feel like you're in the loop. Like they'll promise you things, then when they get going down the road, they kind of, well, I don't know. But this one, it's been pretty good. Whatever they said they're going to do, or whatever they told us they were going to do, they did.
First meeting with the elders right to the time you started drilling. It was brought up over and over, the precautions that your company would be taking and all that. So I think a lot of people didn't believe in it because of the past drilling from the 70s, and then when they did see it, and I think on our tour, I think you heard a lot of people say, wow, this is totally different than what they expected. The HDI is offering our people, they're giving them the opportunity to work on that project so they understand it, and I think that's a positive.
In addition to working with First Nations on training, employment, and business opportunities, archaeology was also identified as a key interest. Constantia undertook a comprehensive archaeological mitigation program with the involvement of local First Nations.
Mitigation ended up dealing with laying down geotextile fabric over the access road, where we also had some surface finds, as well as over top of the drill location. Gravel was then put on top of that at roughly 6 to 8 inches, and for the purpose of preventing compaction and doing no additional damage to the archaeological site.
Very impressed with the effort that HDI has made to put in for it to come back as in the spring looking like it's never been impacted by any equipment. 10-ton equipment without the extra effort that Chris had just mentioned would definitely leave a permanent footprint here, but you can't tell with the amount of equipment that's been utilized on the site. Thank you, Jason.
At Constantia, we deliberately engaged at the earliest possible time. We believe it's an unprecedented approach in the exploration industry. Fully 2 years before drilling, we spent engaging with the local community before we went to government, before we went anywhere else, before we did any activities on the ground. We achieved a number of very important results. Partnerships with First Nations, solid relationships with stakeholders. We received valuable feedback that changed our exploration program. And most importantly, we achieved a lot of local benefits in terms of employment and contracting and training results. One of the things that we're proud of at Constantia is that we provide on-the-job training. So of the 20 or so folks that worked for us during the exploration phase, virtually none of them had any experience in mineral exploration, but it didn't matter to us. They had the right attitude, and we've hired them, trained them, and now they have new skills that they can apply in different applications elsewhere. And we have heard from government that this is some of the best community engagement that they've ever seen, and that we've set a new bar. And we're proud to be a leader. Our vision is to be a leader in constructive engagement with regulators and First Nations.
As part of our commitment to building long-term, positive, and cooperative relationships, Constantia implemented a local benefits policy to create jobs and benefits for the people of the area. This includes training and employment opportunities for at least 20 local residents, as well as a preferential hiring policy for First Nations and local residents. A full 50% of the Constantia site team is First Nations, and to date, 33 local businesses are engaged and providing services to the project.
so significant to have mine exploration going adjacent to a small community that I was quite excited by it, and continue to be excited with the prospect of jobs that are created by the folks that operate the drill rigs, the employment for people in the local area, the support for First Nations, the use of services we have in small businesses in the community. They're all having a mine exploration going on.
There's obviously a lot of people that live here. It's their home, so they don't want anything to be negative happening in and around their home area. They want to enjoy their home. They don't want to be threatened and feel like they have to move away. We do have our newsletters, and we do have the pamphlets that we give out to people, and people have commented that they really enjoyed them. They're takeaways. They can grab them and take them home. They don't have to read them right there on the spot. They can relax in their own environment and digest what's in the information and call somebody up or visit somebody, come into the office here if they have more questions.
By gathering community input proactively in the early engagement stage, Constantia incorporated numerous program changes and environmental best practices, including a water quality monitoring and sampling program, implementing a zero discharge policy, and recycling water on site.
The biggest concern is Constantia. Was Constantia going to take water from the river? No, they haven't. They've taken the environmental steps of bringing in tanks and their own water, recycling the water. Soil and stuff is brought to a different site, so nothing's left here on site. It's taken away, and like I said, water's recycled, and yeah, everything's environmentally safe.
To address community concerns about the environment and water at the Maggie project site, Constantia developed a zero discharge program to protect the environment and recycle, reuse, and reduce the amount of water used. Custom tanks and a closed-loop recirculation system was designed and implemented to reduce water usage and capture all drill cuttings. The cuttings are removed daily from the site by vacuum trucks that transport them to proper disposal facilities. The Maggie Exploration Project is providing benefits to local communities while maintaining strict environmental standards. By engaging early and often with local communities, First Nations, and government, Constantia continues to develop solutions to concerns and priorities and integrate them into the project. For more information, please contact the Constantia Community Office in Cache Creek or ConstantiaResources.com.